Academic Staff Union of Universities, Asuu, and the federal government have been negotiating to have an agreement so that the union can call off the strike they started in February. It was gathered that the most recent negotiation was headed by the Chief of Staff of the Federation, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, though the meeting ended in a deadlock. Sources close to the two parties revealed to the newsmen that both ASU and the federal government have agreed on many things, only that the federal government vows not to pay the lecturers arrears of the 6 months they have been on strike. The union strongly kicked against that and promised not to call off the industrial action until all their requests are granted. Vanguard newspaper has recently disclosed federal government's plan to proscribe ASU so that all the lecturers would be forced back to classes. Vanguard were reliably informed that federal government is very angry with ASU for refusing to call off the strike despite over 150 billion naira being promised to them as universities revitalization fund and members earn allowances. The source disclosed that because of the priority President Muhammadu Buhari has paid to education, he has approved additional 100 billion naira for the universities and about 57 billion naira for the polytechnics and colleges of education. This is part of the understanding with the unions on the renegotiation of the 2009 agreements. The government has also approved 35% increase in salary for professors and 23.5% increase for other lecturers. The government also approved 50 billion naira for earned allowances for the striking unions. It will be unpatriotic on the side of ASU not to reciprocate the government gesture and call off the strike for our children to go back to school. The government is not also unmindful of the cooperation of SS Anu and NASU for being patriotic. It is part of the labor laws that the unions, especially ASU, should apply cessation of strike once a trade dispute is apprehended and conciliation is ongoing. From available information, the Minister of Labour and Employment apprehended the strike on February 2022 and subsequently held conciliation meeting on that day with ASU and on the 1st of March, whereas the dispute with SSANU and NASU were apprehended on 3rd of May by the Minister of Labour and Employment. Why should ASU say that the federal government has done nothing? You should also recall that the president co-opted his chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and the secretary to the government of the federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, to join the negotiation to end the strike. Why is ASU recalcitrant and daring everybody? The government has so many options if ASU refuses to be patriotic. One of the options is the proscription of ASU, which is contained in the Trade Unions Act and even in the Trade Disputes Act. The president can proscribe an association whose action is inimical and constitutes economic sabotage to a country. In the Trade Union Act, the president can withdraw the certificates of any organization whose conduct is not in tandem with the term for their registration. Also, Section 17 of the Trade Dispute Act permits the Minister of Labour to approach the National Industrial Court Cap 78 Laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004 to refer the matter to the National Industrial Court for adjudication, to enforce the legality or otherwise of the ongoing prolonged strike by ASU, and to interpret the entirety the provision of Section 18 of the Trade Dispute Act as it applies to cessation of strike once a trade dispute is apprehended by the Minister of Labour and Employment and conciliation is ongoing. Who is to be blamed? Loretta Nochi said that the ASU is trying to blackmail the lecturers. They said ASU said they have not paid them enough. They have not met with their agreements. Who is to be believed? The question is that, have we ever heard in the history of Nigeria that these politicians are being owed their money? No. Everything goes smoothly with them. Goes smoothly. Somebody was even saying that the aides to president on whatever position is being given, this Bashar Ahmad, who has been the aide to Buhari before wanted to go into politics to contest. At the end of the day, he didn't win. And he has already resigned. He has come back again. And we are hearing that his even salary is even more than lecturers who have put in efforts in this country. It's just unfortunate. So if you proscribe them, that means there's nothing like that will be called a hassle, or there will be nothing that will, this country, it's just unfortunate. Well, okay, somebody is saying that the hassle is talking nonsense. Payment for what? For a job not done. When senators and reps members go on long recess, they still collect salaries and allowances for doing nothing. When Buhari was in hospital in the UK for more than 6 months, he was still collecting salaries and allowances, including extra code. So why should they not pay ASU? As somebody will say they should not pay them. From their region, they don't even value schools. That is just the problem. Well, this is long overdue. Not only the government should consider sacking all of them and replace them with the jobless graduates roaming the streets. So it is jobless graduates that will not put in their efforts. They will not be paid as well. You must be out of your mind. ASU is a union of intellectuals. Okay, it is better to keep quiet and be of thought of as someone who don't even know a thing about how a certain things work than to speak and confirm it. I'm just even trying to understand why you think the unemployed graduates can just fill the position of a professor. Do you think it is every graduate that can teach? Not even in the secondary school. This is wickedness. Let them pay them their salary. Why not pay them and resume? And those politicians, they are corrupt. So if you have a company and you failed to come to work for a while, you fail to come to work. Why would they fail to come to work? Why would you not pay them in the first place? Is that what it is? They just sit down. They don't want to come to work. Abi? They fail to come to work. Will you pay them for the period of absence? Who does that? Who is not corrupt in Nigeria? Okay, they should be banned. They are not fighting for the system but their pockets. As we were using this means for a compulsory saving. This is the best decision by the government. If they are fighting for the system, this is their sacrifice. The incessant strike must be reduced. We like free things in this country. People just want this hassle not to be saying anything, just be working, let them be making fake promises. And that is why all of us, what the government is even doing to you, you are not a lecturer, you don't even have job. All the promises they made to you, they are not fulfilling it, and that is why this country is going down. All the inflation left, right, and center. At the end of the day, if you go down and check the root cause of all this, it's all about corruption. They have made promises to you. You are there. You are saying they should not pay ASU. All the promises they have been making concerning ASU or to ASU, they've not fulfilled them. And that is why you can't continue. But they just want them just be working. But politicians, all these politicians are not owed any money. Rather, they collect their money as at when due. Umungo salaries for doing rubbish. You see how this country is now. Do you want to tell me that we have people that are working very well? If they are working very well, we will see the effects. We will see the results at the end of the day, the area of economy and the general being of the country. Because they are not working, that is why everything is upside down. But yet, they are being paid. They are being paid. Well, I am not an ASU sympathizer, but some questions. When Buhari was sick for a period of 3 months, was in the hospital, was he paid? When Buhari uh, SA on media Basha resigned his position to contest House of Reps, his 3 months salary, was he paid or not? Was it Was it good for the goose? What is good for the goose is good for the gander as well. Stop making us feel there's no money while you keep embezzling. This basha is pay slip for monthly salary is almost 1 million naira for not doing quarter of the work most professionals do, e.g. doctors, lecturers, professors, and lawyers. You see? Well, sickness is different from strike. What is strike? Because the government failed in the first place. Because if everything is going on fine, these guys will not just abandon their work. They are being, they are working, but they are not being paid. You are beating a child. You said the child should not cry. I don't understand it. If the government is doing what they ought to do, because these guys, it's like they've been doing free work all this while. Yes, you are not paying them. You say you are promising, but you fail in your promises. They now stop work. You say you are not going to pay them, but you want to force them to be working without payments. Well, that is what you are supposed to have done since to have banned them. Okay, the Nigerian students have lost its session already. If they like, let them prescribe it. Nigeria is a failed state already. Not, it's not even working anymore. Nothing is working in this country, nation anymore. The Asuu are just selfish and insensitive. 6 months of strike action. Abba, let them resume first. What we Asuu pay to students for time wasting. Please, federal government, ban that ASU. Make them ban you too now. They don't ban the Nigerian people now. They never ban you. You know if you talk, you don't even reason well. The government that is not doing anything, you know one thing. Once they just push you, they just want to they just tell you just go strike us. Well, go back to work. Yes sir, yes sir. Where those people who are supporting the government to ban them, they don't know what they are saying.